So Pi Network just dropped over 12% overnight, and some analysts are now saying it could crash all the way down to 30 cents. Yes, 30 cents. That's the hot news today, and the question on everyone's mind is, what in the Pi is going on? After the massive hype surrounding the open mainnet launch, a growing marketplace, and years of consistent mining, how did we get to this point? Is this the bottom, or is the worst yet to come? In today's video, we're breaking down this Pi Network new update that's shaking up the entire community. We'll look at what's causing the price drop, why some people think Picoin could collapse further, and what might be needed to turn things around. We'll also talk about token unlock pressure, missing updates from the Pi core team, and what all this means for the future of Pi, especially now that mining has stopped and we're fully on open mainnet. But let me throw it to you, my Pi family. Do you think Picoin will bounce back, or are we watching it slowly spiral down to 30 cents? Drop your honest take in the comments right now. And if you missed the latest Pi updates, like my recent breakdown on Pi tentative approval solution, KYC pending issues, and migration to mainnet problems, make sure you check out those videos too. I've got all the links waiting for you in the description below, and of course, let's flood the comment section with Pi Network to the moon and tell me what country you're repping. I love seeing how global this movement truly is. Don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow pioneers, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's the best way to support what we're doing here and to keep getting fresh Pi Network updates every single day. And hey, don't miss out. Join our Telegram group and Facebook page where we break news even faster. Quick disclaimer, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It is not investment advice of any kind. Always do your own research before making decisions with your crypto. Alright, let's dive into the full story. So let's talk about the storm that just hit the Pi Network ecosystem. In the last 24 hours, Picoin has dropped more than 12%, now hovering around 56 cents. For those of us who've stuck around since the early mining days, it's another gut punch in what's been a roller coaster year. The Pi Network, which had everyone buzzing after the long-awaited mainnet launch, now finds itself surrounded by uncertainty. And with no major exchange listing in sight and silence from the core team, pioneers are right to feel a bit uneasy. What's more worrying is that this isn't just a random dip. We're seeing a pattern, one that's been forming ever since Pi touched $3. Since then, the price has slowly but consistently been bleeding. And now, as we face an avalanche of token unlocks and very little fresh news, confidence in the project's near-term price action is starting to weaken. There was a brief moment of hope recently around April 7th to April 11th, when the daily unlock rate dropped significantly to about 1.5 million tokens. Many traders took that as a signal for potential price stability. Maybe, just maybe, Pi would level out. But that relief didn't last long. The expected unlock ramp-up by April 18th is now looming large, with projections showing nearly 10 million tokens per day soon entering circulation. And when you increase supply without matching it with strong demand, the price usually follows the law of gravity. It drops. Let's not forget what makes Pi unique. We're one of the largest crypto communities in the world, and now that mining has stopped, all eyes are on real-world use cases, utility, and adoption. But despite this strong foundation, investor anxiety is rising, especially with continued delays around key Pi Network milestones. Where's the update on Pi KYC solution? What's happening with all the Pi KYC pending problems? And what about those stuck in the Pi tentative approval limbo, waiting to fully migrate to mainnet? These aren't just little tech glitches. These are critical roadblocks for millions of users who are holding onto their coins and waiting for clarity. And then there's the issue of price support. The 53 cents level was seen by many as a critical support zone, a kind of psychological floor for the market. But the moment Pi dipped below that mark, even briefly, it triggered fears that we might not be close to the bottom. This is where the Pi update today becomes more urgent than ever. Because if the core team doesn't break the silence soon, it's not just the price that's going to suffer, it's trust too. Crypto analyst Dr. Altcoin recently chimed in with a prediction that's got everyone on edge. He believes Pi could slide all the way to 30 cents if current trends continue. His reasoning? Simple. The tokenomics haven't changed. We're still seeing more tokens unlocked than demand being created. There's no buzz from exchange listings, and with no major announcement from the core team, it's hard to build excitement. To be fair, Pi Network has never been about quick gains or hype. It's always pitched itself as a slow burn, a project that values grassroots adoption, community growth, and organic expansion. And that's what makes today's situation so challenging. Because even though the vision is still there, the action we're seeing in the market doesn't reflect it. And that disconnect between belief and reality is what's creating all this tension. Now let's talk about the migration to mainnet. If you've already migrated, congratulations. But many pioneers are still stuck, either due to pending KYC verification or approval delays. This has been a major friction point. The core team has acknowledged the backlog before, but there hasn't been any recent statement providing a clear Pi KYC solution or timeline. And every day without that update makes it harder for new users to stay motivated and for old users to keep the faith. The truth is, Pi Network has a unique chance right now. We're already live on Open Mainnet. We've stopped mining. We've got businesses slowly beginning to adopt Pi in places like the Philippines, Nigeria, and India. We've even seen some local marketplaces pop up, but none of that will matter if the coin's value drops so low that people stop caring. We need something big. A Pi Network new update that delivers real substance, an announcement from the core team about upcoming exchange listings, a progress report on migration issues, a proper breakdown of how they plan to handle the supply shock that's coming with the next batch of unlocks. It doesn't need to be revolutionary, it just needs to show the community that things are moving forward. Until then, the only real power we have is community strength. We've seen crypto coins rise from worse situations simply because their communities refuse to give up. And Pi's community is special, we're global, we're passionate, and we've been patient. But that patience has limits, and we need leadership now more than ever. If the core team speaks up, if they provide solutions to KYC bottlenecks, resolve tentative approval holdups, and actively work on getting Pi listed on even one major exchange, it could flip the entire narrative. Investor sentiment would change, traders would start seeing Pi as a sleeping giant rather than a fading dream, and that alone could prevent the dreaded crash to 30 cents. Crypto markets move fast, and narratives shift even faster. Pi still has every chance to shine, but the next few weeks are critical. With the upcoming spike in unlocked tokens, we'll either see a rebound or a deeper fall. And what happens will depend entirely on whether action is taken now. So today, we unpacked one of the most important Pi Network updates of the year. This 12% price drop, the looming threat of a slide to 30 cents, and why token unlocks, KYC delays, and missing updates are all coming together in a perfect storm. We looked at both the warning signs and the opportunities, because let's be honest, there's still hope for a turnaround if the core team acts fast. Now, if you got value from this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Share it with your fellow pioneers, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest Pi Network news and updates. Before we go, here's a question I want you to answer in the comments. Do you think Pi coin will recover from this dip, or is 30 cents the reality we have to face? Drop your answer below. And if you've got any questions or insights of your own, let's talk about it in the comments. I love hearing from the community. Thanks so much for watching. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and I'll catch you in the next video.